The big, beautiful bill will kill you. Mike Johnson, an individual who somehow found his way out of a locker, has now decided to put a bill through the House. The bill somehow managed to narrowly slide its punk ass way through that House. And in this big, beautiful bill, Medicaid is going to be receiving some significant cuts. Mike Johnson is proud of this. And even in the face of a reporter looking him in, well, not in the eye, but, virtual, looking him in the face and saying, you do realize hundreds of thousands in your state will be negatively impacted by this. What say you to that? And he decides to take young men, put them on the tabernacle, raise the blade, and sacrifice young men to justify his cuts of Medicaid. Isn't it crazy how young men are always the sacrificial lamb in war, in disease, and whatever? The Titanic, we're always supposed to be the first ones to die. It's not just, the red pillars would have you believe, oh, the women want us. The reality is, even these right-wing politicians whose tits y'all be sucking on, even they believe that you're expendable. Even Mike Johnson looks at straight young men who are gaming too much and aren't working. He looks at them and says, you know what? In order to justify fucking over the lives of my constituents and mad Americans all around the country, I'm going to use you. I'm going to blame you. Able-bodied young men who don't have jobs, you're the reason why there's fraud, waste, and abuse. Can't make this shit up.
Back to your end of the deal here, for this tax relief, you talked about the cuts to pay for it all. You are eliminating subsidized federal student loans, so the government will no longer cover the interest on debt while borrowers in school. You're eliminating $500 billion in clean energy subsidies, and you're terminating early tax breaks for electric vehicles. Alongside that, you're carrying out about $1 trillion in reductions to Medicaid and food stamps. We looked at your home state, and the projection is that nearly 200,000 Louisianans will lose their Medicaid coverage because of this. How do you defend that to your constituents?
We're not going to let him lie. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to... One thing I'm so sick and tired of is reporters asking conservatives, the sky is blue, but what's your take on that? The sky is blue, the end. Stop asking these niggas if the sky is blue. We all know it's blue. You've declared the sky is blue. Don't then turn to Mike Johnson and say, well, what do you think about? Do you think stop asking these niggas that. You know the sky is blue. He knows the sky is blue. We know that he's not going to answer honestly about the sky being blue. Don't hand the mic to Mike Johnson. You didn't say what you needed to say. 200,000 Louisianans will go down to hell because of Mike Johnson. He will then proceed to lie and claim that undocumented immigrants are on Medicaid. False. This is what the young people call cap. He's lying. Lies. Number two, he'll sit there and blame, young able-bodied men who don't have jobs for, Medicaid being frauded upon. So I guess healthcare is only for people down on their luck. What are we talking about here? We're the only nation that takes pride in not taking care of each other. The only Western state that says, oh, you're bankrupt from a life-threatening disease? I don't care. That's our country. The United States is proud as fuck to leave its own countrymen in the abyss, in the financial abyss. Proud as fuck. He's so proud of this. He's so proud of this. In his mind, this is an accomplishment. And they talked about repeal and replace Obamacare. They have zero replacement. Their goal is to get as many people off of Medicaid as humanly possible. As humanly possible. That is their goal. And they're using young, straight, white men as the sacrificial lamb. Well, the fraudsters, the abusers, the wasters are these straight young men, these young men at home not working these jobs. That's why we have to make it fair. We have to make it right by cutting them off and basically leaving them with no health coverage in the event of a medical emergency. We live in a country where if you break a limb, you are in debt. You're in debt. This is an accomplishment to Mike Johnson. Oh, by the way, as she was listing that off, the government also is not going to cover the interest for those student loans, by the way. So with that being said, now we can actually see the evil for what it is from the Republican Party. They're not just attacking healthcare, they're also laying siege to education and also the environment. These people do not believe the earth could possibly be damaged by any form of man-made technology. They don't believe that any of these things that we do on a daily basis, like driving and flying, has any impact on the environment. They truly do believe that this will never happen, and I guess Christ will return on a chariot, on a horse, in the sky. These people are divorced from reality. They are divorced from reality. I understand every single day more and more why the founding fathers constantly tried to keep theocracy as far away from the American government as humanly possible, because you end up with bullshit like this. You end up with individuals who, when all the scientists are very clearly telling everybody what's to come in the future, you have nincompoop idiots like Mike Johnson holding up a Bible as that's going to save us all from global warming. This is the kind of nonsense we are dealing with. By the way, 30% of Mike Johnson's actual district in Louisiana is on Medicaid. 30%. Mike Johnson couldn't give a damn about the people within his district. In his mind, they are simply expendable. These people are not statesmen. These people are here to rule. These people fancy themselves as princes. These people fancy themselves as kings. They have no intention of answering to the American people. People who actually are, in the mind state of like, hey, I should probably answer to my constituents. I should probably do what's right to by my constituents. People who think like that don't behave like Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson has no intention of actually being held accountable. In fact, one might say Mike Johnson is behaving in such a way that invites rage and anger from the common populace. And, one has to wonder exactly what their ultimate plan might be, because they're literally pressing all the wrong buttons. They're literally pressing all the wrong buttons to piss off the average everyday American and invoke the wrath of the American people. And they know it. They absolutely know it. $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid, and Mike Johnson thinks he's doing something amazing here. He thinks he's accomplished something here. He lies, claims 0 cuts have been made, and then goes on to blame straight, young men for said cuts. Are you cutting or not? Are you cutting Medicaid or not? Don't double speak, talking about cutting out waste and fraud like Elon Musk, who saved 1.5 billion but promised to save like 1.2 trillion. That guy, the guy who fired a shitload of Americans from incredibly important jobs and then just walked away. That guy who didn't even swear an oath of office but ruined the lives of thousands of Americans. That's your way of cleaning out waste and fraud? These people are scum. These people are filth. These people are not human. These people are animals. Mike Johnson is filth. He is an insect. He is vermin. He's a rodent. He's not even a human being. This is an individual using his power as a statesman to wage class warfare on those he is supposed to serve. He is not a servant of the people. He fancies himself as a prince. It is incredibly important for citizens to realize when an individual is utilizing their power to destroy the working class, to destroy those who have voted for said person. Mike Johnson does not want to lead. He does not want to administer. He does not want to take care of. He does not want to represent. He wants to rule. Unfortunately, Americans have never seen no shit like this before. So we're unfortunately boiled frogging our way into a situation we should be able to easily see coming. But unfortunately, I don't think we will. So Mike Johnson and the big, beautiful bill are going to succeed in ruining the lives of hundreds of thousands. Not to mention the fact that this is going to run up the deficit like fucking crazy. Conservatives do not care about actually running a functioning government, they just care about enriching themselves. These people are no different from the African corrupt dictators who they make fun of and reference as shithole leaders and shithole countries. These people are literally, they should be the best of friends. I'm seeing Elon Musk staring down the president of South Africa. Y'all niggas should be the best of friends. South Africa's poorly run. Elon Musk poorly runs the American government. If anything, it seems like y'all must be brothers. Y'all must be tight like this. Should be the best of friends. For all the hatred conservatives have for, non-whites all around the world, they sure do want to run America like a fucking, South American dictatorship. They sure do want to plunder and pilfer our treasury and our government, like a lot of these African dictators do. The racism is blocking them from seeing the kindred spirit that they share with people from Latin America and Africa as it pertains to corruption. I'm just saying, racism is a crazy thing. Even when you have so much in common and you could clearly be the best of friends, that hatred, boy, I tell you, brother, hatred is crazy. Mike Johnson, killing Americans every day. Thanks for watching.